what's up, Zach?
Hey, what's
Huh.
up, Danny?
One sec. One sec. The Skype is lagging a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you on this lovely Friday afternoon?
I'm doing well. I'm a little tired, but I'm, you know, doing good. How are you?
Doing well. My voice is starting to die. I don't know how commentators go for the whole day.
Gotta drink that water.
I'm
Stay
on that.
hydrated.
Yeah. They say smashers are thirsty.
Oh.
Yeah. So what have you been up to?
Um, well, I had my last final yesterday, or not yesterday, on Wednesday. So I'm free for the semester, which is really nice. Um, just been playing some friendlies or playing at Smash Fest and studying players, preparing for the tournaments this summer.
Where are you going?
Gonna go to CEO. Well, actually, so before that, on Tuesday I leave for Brazil for 10 days. Uh, and there's this big tournament with probably Brazil's biggest tournament. Azingo Bay is gonna be there, and then Dark, that the Chili Fox is gonna be there.
Oh,
I'm like,
really? That's sick.
yeah, so I'm excited to play with those guys. And then after that is gonna be CEO. PFAT's gonna be teaming there, and then I want to go to FC after that, but we'll see, because there's also a NorCal tournament that might be big. And then Evo. So,
Wait, there's a Norca. I'm not even aware about this.
well, it's not gonna be like big, but it's like Hadoken. So it was like
Okay.
a fairly sized tournament last time, you know. So
You were at the last FC, right?
yeah, FC Legacy, or was it Legacy?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was the infamous Dark Green Five Knees thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember. Hey, I won that set too. People forget that I won that set. They only remember the five knees.
I remember the Five Knees. Dude, did you hear that you can have your own trading card at FC?
Yeah, I did. I actually submitted my information, so this time I'm gonna have my own card, hopefully.
Dude, I was so sad because like the first time they did it, I didn't meet the qualifications because I had the top 32 at national.
Because you didn't have a top 32?
No, this was like in 2012 when I was like starting to like really play the game a lot more.
Oh.
But,
Oh.
but this time I have a top 32 at Apex 2014 that I can do. Let me tune up your volume. So I always forget that when I add a new caller, the volume on the XSplit drops. It like lowers the setting. Okay.
Um.
So a lot of people don't know about your early history. So, and in my perception, you're still 13.
Still 13.
Yeah.
13 years old. Okay.
Yeah. So what were the early days? I know that you Pew Pew, Falcomus, and other people were influential in like your early stages. So what was that like?
Well, so I met Kevin in sixth grade, and this is when we started. One of our mutual friends played Smash, and of course, as little kids, we need to be better than each other, so we would challenge each other. Um, we'd play a lot, just about every week, every Friday, and then our friends stopped sort of playing as much as us, and Kevin and I just kept playing. Um, and then Justin, as we got better, Justin was also lived in our area, so we would play with him a lot, and he kind of, he would just beat on us, and that's kind of how we learned. And then let's see. Yeah, I mean, I just kept going to tournaments. So I was 2006. I was 11 when I went to my first tournament, and I got 2-0'd instantly, and that happened for like 3 or 4 years. But Kevin would not go to tournaments. Like he would go to like maybe one tournament every year or something, because his parents just didn't want him going to tournaments. But he was still like always as good as me, if not better. So that's what was kind of scary about Kevin.
Yeah, he was always seen as this hidden boss, and I remember like he randomly beat Replicate and like had a really intense set with Sound Spectre at like a regional. I was like, wow, this kid's hella good.
Yeah, I think it was either the Triple R tournament, or it was the West Coast Smash League. Was that it? I don't know. One of the SFSU tournaments. Yeah, and then he beat like Eggs, and I think he beat Larry that tournament too, or something. But yeah, and then I don't know. Kevin and I kept playing, kept getting better, kept we lived really close to each other, so it was really easy to just like go over to each other's houses and play. And yeah, and that's pretty much the history, I suppose.
And so, when did you start noticing, like, hey, I'm actually kind of good at this game?
Um, Probably. So my first upset wasn't until maybe like 2009 or 10 when I beat Zoo.
Oh, 09. It was before
Uh,
Genesis.
it was 09. Okay, yeah, yeah. I beat Zoo on Pokefloats because Falcomus told me to take him to Pokefloats, and but even then, like I knew, I was definitely improving, but this is when Dewan also like came into the scene and like just started taking over NorCal, and it was like really frustrating to keep losing to this Dr. Mario every freaking weekend.
You can start.
Okay, and but I think in like 2011 or 2012, I started realizing like I'm not bad at this game. I think 2011 when I got ninth at Genesis 2, that's when I was like, okay, I can do this. I think I lost to I forget who I lost to in winners, but I lost to Mewtwo King in losers, and that was not a close set. But yeah, 2011, and then Mango came over in 2012.
So, what would you guys do on a day-to-day basis?
With Mango.
Yeah, what was like your thought process? Like, you're like, I have potentially the world's best player at my like living with me right now.
Um, well, um, we didn't actually. I mean, we played Smash a fair bit, but we didn't play all day every day, right? It was more, it was fun. It was kind of just like, you're just kicking back with a friend, and he just happens to be really good at this video game, and you just try to absorb as much as you can, because as Mango's not the most vocal about. He's not the best teacher, I guess. So I really had to. It was up to me to like take away from the situation. Just, and it was like subtle things too, like how he spaced a nair, or when he did a shine as opposed to like an aerial or something. But that was, and then after that, a lot of people said that they thought that I got really good, but I didn't. I mean, I didn't see it because it was just like one transition. It was one thing for me. I didn't really see my improvement. But
What's crazy? I'm looking at your Genesis 2 results.
mm-hmm.
You beat Leffen there.
I did, yeah, in bracket.
Yeah, so you're 2-0 against Leffen in bracket now.
Well, he beat me at Genesis 2 round 2 pools though. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to count pools, but
we don't.
Okay. Okay, then I guess I am 2-0 against Leffen.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Losing to Hungry Box and Mewtwo King for 9th.
Oh, right. That Hungry Box, that set was actually really close. That's online somewhere. That was like a really last stock, last hit battle.
Dang, that sucks. So the trend continued at press start, where you can beat Leffen and narrowly lose to Hungry Box.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose so. Not next time though. The trend will not continue next time.
Yeah, you'll lose to both. I'm just kidding. So around that time of Genesis 2, shortly after, we had tournaments weren't like as frequent. Genesis 2 died out, so we only had Apex, but we had a bunch of nationals that I believe you and Mango would go to. So tell us about that like kind of trend, where I really think you went from like a top 20, top 30 to 40 player, and you kind of shot up to like borderline top 10 in that era. Keep in mind, stream, that was a weaker era because like a lot of people like weren't playing Melee as much as they did today. But you were arguably top 10 during that stretch.
Right. Well, so the tournaments that I remember we went to FC Legacy together, and then we also went to Big House 2, Big House 3. I think it was Big House 2 together, and I don't know. We of course Mango was like up in NorCal for a long time too, so we would just hang out and play a lot of Smash and do a lot of shenanigans. And he just, it was really nice to have someone that could like always challenge you. I mean, now I have Kevin and Dewan, which is nice, but it's not the same type of challenge. And at FC, I remember FC, I lost to Axe, and I was pretty bummed about that. That was like one of the few sets that Axe has beaten me. And I was just really bummed because I wanted to play Hungry Box because me and Mango had been practicing for that matchup specifically, and then at Big House 2 or 3, whenever I lost to Fly in losers, I was really confident against the Ice Climbers matchup also, but and if I had beaten him, I would have played Hungry Box again, but I ended up losing to Fly, and I was just like, oh, like. Like this fourth place curse kind of like followed me around for a few tournaments, and I couldn't shake it.
That's so you. I mean, it was tough for you to see because like you're getting better performances like throughout the nation, but then you were still getting bopped by Mango, and so.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, and I think Mango. The more you play Mango, the more he downloads your like habits, but he forgets them over time. So like I couldn't beat him when he was over, but I think as like time goes on, like at the next tournament, I think it's going to be a little different because I'm not going to play him all day. At I'm Not Yelling, we we played in bracket, but we also played all day. Like whenever we had a chance to play friendlies, we would sit down and play friendlies. And it really hurt me, I think, because he relearned my little habits and my nuances. So yeah, next time I'm not doing friendlies with Mango. At least not more than 2.
Do you think that's part of the reason why you were able to get so close at EVO 2013?
Yeah, definitely, because I didn't play him at all. Well, it was a combination of that, and also he had just lost. I think like he just lost, and then we had to play right after that. So he was kind of still probably shooken up from that loss.
So, you're a pretty technical fox, and I think people don't give you enough credit in that. So I was just curious. Some people ask this on Twitter. What's your practice routine when you don't have Shroomed or PPU or Alvin nearby?
So I do 15 minutes of tech skill every day, and when I say tech skill, I don't mean just like random tech skill stuff. I mean, I'll do that to like warm up my fingers, but the tech skill that I practice is the tech skill that I'll be applying in my games. So stuff like shine grabs, or just even simple like drill shine wave dash, like wave dash out of shines, because that's kind of easy to mess up, and it's really crucial. Shine out of shields, certain nair spacings and delays on my nairs. Yeah, that type of stuff. So I do like 15 minutes of tech skill every day, and then I'll also just like meditate every day just to like kind of calm my mind and like get in the zone kind of before I do the tech skill.
Do you ever look at videos or?
Oh yeah, I look at a ton of videos. I mean, I'm always lurking streams, and even like Brazil streams, or some some New York locals or anything, but especially of the top 15 because I think that's what it's going to come down to. And Armada's said this a lot that the top play of Melee is going to come down to playing the player because we all have pretty much solid fundamentals, and it just comes down to who's if you can beat that player's habits quicker, you
Yeah.
know.
I agree. And like, yeah, once you get it past a certain level of fundamentals, it really comes down to manipulating those fundamentals and like assumptions that people have in regards to them.
Yeah.
So a lot has changed since the days of 2010 and 11 with Big House 2 and FC. And I remember you mentioning a while back that you were discouraged. I heard this through hearsay actually that you were discouraged because you were getting all these top performances and it just didn't really feel like it was gratifying. Do you think that's changed today in 2015?
Yes, because the level of play is just a lot larger. It's a lot harder to do well at tournaments now. Like back then, getting getting fourth place at FC or getting fourth place at Big House, I felt like it was kind of expected of me, but um, but now getting just like top 8 at a tournament is like wow, like good stuff, because the talent pool is just so much larger nowadays with the scene just growing and everyone just wanting their piece of the Smash community. So I think getting like ninth at Apex is a little disappointing, but I was definitely a lot proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself. So
What happened at Apex? I felt like those were definitely not that was definitely not SFAT playing.
against AMSA or
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Okay, a couple things. Like, of course the stage just being the stage is nerve-wracking enough, but also our Yoshi player Thomas Kimimaru moved away, like he graduated the semester before. So I was in lack of Yoshi practice, and the time when I played AMSA before at the previous Apex, um, Kimimaro was around, so I felt a lot more comfortable versus Yoshi, and I thought like I had a pretty good chance still. But then when I fought AMSA, I was like, holy shit, like I don't know what I'm doing. Like he's doing stuff that I'm not totally comfortable with, and I wasn't sure like how to punish certain things. So, which is why I started to pick up Yoshi, because there's no better way to learn a character than to play the character. Um, so so next time, AMSA, you're going down.
Damn. Those are fighting words. I always thought that like your neutral kind of really worked against a style like Amsa's because you would do hesitation and stutter steps to manipulate the timing, and I felt like that type of fox and that type of decision trees would be really effective against a person that's waiting for you to attack and like try to parry it within this like time window.
Yeah, yeah. A few things that I didn't do well that set was was attacking him on platforms, and that would just give him free hits because his shield drop is so amazing. So next time I need to just stay more grounded. I watched Pew Pew versus AMSA like 5 times before I played AMSA at Apex, but it still wasn't enough. It was still too much.
I mean, side B's off the stage certainly don't really help.
Yeah, yeah. Eh,
So
whatever.
what was your progression in like the shroom rivalry? Because with PPU not going to tournaments, I felt like that was the big thing in NorCal for a good 2 to 3 years. And I guess it still is.
Well, I'm not exactly sure when Dewan started like taking over NorCal. I think it was around 2009. Yeah, it was definitely like before the first Genesis, right? Because he did really well at the first Genesis, I think.
Yeah, and he wasn't on the crew yet, so he wasn't really well established yet.
Ah, right. So somewhere between like Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, I had Dewan. Dewan would beat us. He would beat almost everyone like easily. So this one time I had him come over to my house for a week, and we just played Smash. We just grinded out Fox versus Dr. Mario, and at the end of the week, I felt so comfortable in that matchup that he wasn't able to beat me nearly as much. Like you know, when he first came, he was probably winning like 8 out of 10 matches, and then when he left, he was probably winning like 3 out of the 10 matches. So, and then it became like a just a consistent thing that this is how in my mind I was just thinking like this is how I play Dr. Mario, and this is why like Dewan eventually switched over to Marth and Sheik and other characters because he realized that his Doc is just kind of limited by his range.
So you ruined Doc Nation, is what you're telling me.
I don't like to brag about it, but I suppose you can hold me accountable for it.
Yeah. Side note, thank you very much, Frank Feely, for the $2 donation. I really appreciate it.
Sweet.
Part of the money is going to this guy here, and also to get Cosmonaut. I'm pretty sure this is kind of well known in NorCal, but not necessarily for the stream here. Do you want to tell us about that one night at Brandon's place?
One night at Brandon's place. You mean where I money matched one?
Yeah, that night.
Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh. This
so Brandon being homemade waffles.
Yeah.
So who was there that night?
Okay, so Brandon was there. Obviously, Phil was there. Dewan, me. Gosh, I think Alan was there. Probably Daryl too. And so okay, so like Dewan and I are playing. No, everyone's playing. Everyone's just talking shit to each other and having a good time. And then it was pretty common for me and Dewan to ask each other to a money match every time we saw each other. So of course Dewan and I we challenged each other to a money match and.
You lost a lot of $20. You lost $20 many times before that, right?
Yes. I've lost many money, probably more money matches I've lost than I've won against one. But this money match was especially unique because I think so like the first set we had bet like $20 or something, and then I ended up beating him. I think he played Sheik. I ended up beating him, and then he wanted a double or nothing. So we did a double or nothing, and I ended up beating him again. So then Dewan's getting more and more salty. I'm talking more and more shit. Everyone else is talking shit too. Like, oh come on, Dewan, because Dewan was still pretty he was pretty much the prominent player still. It was pretty clear that he was still number one in the region at the time, and then so I forget, man, I don't know who suggested it, but somehow. We bet a plane ticket to Big House. I think it was Big House 3. That was the next one, or Big House 2. And I was like, all right, Dawn, if I win though, like you have to buy my plane ticket to Big House. He was like, no problem, like easy. Oh, it's because Dewan had a job at this point, and he was making a lot of money, and so he's feeling really cocky and arrogant, and so we played. And I tapped him. I tapped him again, and he was going like a bunch of characters, Marth and Dr. Mario, and so I beat him. And then I think we did one more, like double or nothing. Like he had to buy 2 plane tickets if he had lost, and he lost again. And I had never seen Dewan not smile at this point after playing. Like he just got up, unplugged, and like left. He didn't say anything to us, like because everyone's just talking mad shit. He just like got up, left, like no grin, no smile, no teeth. It was
no teeth.
Oh my god. Like at the time it wasn't as funny because it was like, whoa, what just happened? But the next week we all laughed about it and joked it off. So even to this day though, Dewan still owes me 2 plane tickets.
I heard it was 3. He owed you violence and homemade waffles tickets.
Yeah, no, yeah, I remember. Yes, yeah, it was 3 tickets.
Dude, that's so funny.
I don't think I'm ever gonna let that go against Dewan either. but now like I have so many more wins against him that I've forgotten that even happened.
It's
But
just another one to the count. It's
yeah.
You usually win like 75% of the sets, right?
Nowadays, yeah, but that's because a lot of them are played at the Foundry too, and Dewan usually has at least one beer. Every time he drinks and he loses, the next time, or he says he's not gonna drink next time at all, and then next time someone comes up to him, he's like, "Hey, let's take a shot," and he's like, "All right, let's do it." So
So you're telling me if I'm playing him in bracket or if it projects you, I can be like, let's take shots, and that $10 or $15, I don't know how expensive the Foundry is, will make sure that I win.
uh, well, I mean, he's still really good when he's a little buzzed, but
He lost a snap.
okay, no, he wasn't a little buzzed when he lost a snap. He was just shit faced when he lost a snap. See, when I don't go to the Foundry, he gets more drunk and he does worse at the Foundry. But if I go to the Foundry, he drinks less and does better because he like wants to, I don't know, actually practice.
That's
But
pretty funny.
but yeah, he lost it. He lost a snap and Mr. Brandendorf a couple times and some other bad losses, but you know.
Shots.
but actually, so I usually win at the Foundry, but then Dewan will beat me at like BAM. It's weird. I don't know. I haven't beaten Dewan at BAM for the last like 4 BAMs or something like that. So
Oh, GG's. I
I
didn't
know.
know that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's something about the venue, man. The venue's just like cursed for me. I can't beat Dewan there, and it'll always go like I'll lose to Kevin, and then play Dewan right away, and then lose to Dewan, or something like that. But
Womp womp. But I feel like like low tiers require a certain type of mindset, right?
um,
Or like mid tiers, like when you play them, like
you-
so. Because I feel that your experience against players like Shroomed have improved your matchups against other people like Axe.
mm, mm.
Do you see similarities?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've always said that I think Dr. Mario and Pikachu are pretty similar in the sense that they're both really small characters, and I like to play the neutral game pretty similarly against each character. Of course, like the characters have their little nuances, like Pikachu's tail spike and stuff like that, and you have to be careful of certain gimps of each character, but fundamentally, I think they're very similar, and I think actually Pikachu's probably a little bit easier just because you can like up throw up air. He doesn't fall down to shine.
Yeah.
Oh, he does fall down to shine. So, I think that makes it a little easier, but yeah, totally like even playing like Samus, like all mid tiers, I kind of play the same way, except maybe like Ganondorf. It's a little different, but yeah, the neutral games are super similar, and they're both just like really small characters. So in my mind, I just equate the two.
Are you trying? And then your little brother started to get into it. He won a high school he won the high school tournament. Right?
He did.
And
Yeah.
how's it been to try to train him up?
It's been good. He's probably my best practice partner now because he's so close, and he's actually getting pretty technical where I can't beat him with certain alt characters. Like my Falcon almost can't beat him anymore. So he's definitely getting a lot better as opposed to 6 months ago where my Falcon would just like four stock him all the time. But yeah, and it's nice that he plays Fox too because it's it just keeps me on my toes. So it's good. It's good. Although of course after you play someone for so long and they just don't win, they start to get a little bit discouraged, which is a shame, but it happens. Even when I played Mango and I couldn't beat him after 3 hours, I was like, all right, I need a break. I can't just lose for 3 hours in a row and keep playing.
Dude, and Mango makes it so irritating to lose to him.
Right, yeah, I know because he rubs it in your face. He's like, God, you suck, or like, why'd you do that move? Like, or like if he'll get a 3 stock lead, like he'll just like kind of stop playing and be like, all right, let's go to the next game. It's like, no, dude, I'm trying to make this comeback, and he just like quits trying.
And then he just
So
starts like laughing at you and just
yeah, like 4 forward smashes in a row or something. I know.
and then he like, yeah, it's like really irritating. I'm just like, I just want to beat you, but I can't. I don't know. I imagine that's what like the Z fighters felt when they were trying to fight Frieza.
I yeah, maybe I suppose so.
I don't know,
I don't
but
know.
holy shit. Do you have any feedback for like young blood foxes?
Young blood foxes. I would say just practice your tech skill. Get, but not only okay. So when I say practice tech skill, again, I don't mean like just randomly press buttons. I mean like practice tech that you're going to actually apply in the game. Don't be doing like 60 multi shines because when the heck are you going to use 60 multi shines? Just 2 multi shines is like good, maybe 3, but you don't need do stuff that is actually applicable to the game. Like wave shine, even little stuff like up throw and getting the up air when they DI hard to the left or to the right. Like that's actually hard. Like especially if they DI behind you because you need to turn around first.
Yeah.
That takes 3 frames and then you gotta jump and do it. So yeah, you practice things that are actually applicable, and just like you only need to do it like 15-20 minutes a day, and then eventually it'll just add together.
Can you walk us? What happened at press start with the Leffen game? How were you feeling? Walk us through that.
um okay, well, so I've been studying Leffen for a little bit, and I've felt really confident against him for since Paragon, since we did those money matches. I felt like I had a pretty good read on him, and the first game I wanted to start it off like pretty strong, which I did. I felt pretty good about that game. And the second game he took me to FD, which I expected. I knew he was going to take me to FD. And then he got like a quick shine on me, which kind of turned the game around for him. So he took that game. I took him to Yoshi's, which
Great choice.
I don't think it was a good choice
Oh, really?
in the long run because when we played at Paragon, we actually didn't play on small stages except Battlefield, and so I didn't really know why I took him to Yoshi's. I felt like maybe I could like out muscle him or outspeed him, but it didn't really work out. It worked against me for the most part. I needed room to like read his movement. Yoshi's and Fountain, it's too condensed to be able to read someone's movement accurately. For me, anyways.
I felt like maybe you did that because PPU played the dash dancing game against Left and it maybe didn't work out. Maybe that was part of it, or no?
No, well, so I don't think that's the problem because I think Kevin just was not as prepared against Leffen as I felt I was prepared. Because I had been watching his videos for a long time. I knew what certain habits he liked to pick over others, certain tech patterns, certain recovery patterns, and so I was confident. And when I would see something that I knew he'd like to do, it just reassured me. It gave me that self confidence. Like, oh, I knew you were gonna do that or something. But yeah, and then I took him to Stadium, and he killed himself a couple times, but we'll take it. We'll always take it.
You'll take it.
That's part of the game, right? You gotta be You gotta be mentally strong enough to overcome those sort of things. And then the last game was kind of destruction. He killed himself again, something. But yeah, we will take it. We'll take it.
So that makes you 3-1 or 3-0 in the past year.
Yeah. Including money matches.
Yeah. How does that feel? Because I know that there's a little bit of, there may or may not be like some salt because you didn't top 8 at I'm Not Yelling, and he was like I really felt the perfect insult would have been like, "Hey, Leffen, like if you want a money match next time, I'm a little busy in top 8, but we can do it at the next national."
Yeah, I don't know. Probably would have been good too. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like anything because, you know, he's not. If I'm not number one, then I don't. It doesn't matter who I beat, I guess. Like, my goal is to be number one, and that means that I'm gonna have to beat everyone. So beating Leffen is just part of the process of getting to number one. So it doesn't feel. I mean, it feels good, but it's also not like preoccupying my mind because I have bigger things that I'm looking at.
And how did you feel against? So Hungry Box, like, how did that one go? Because you played him later in the tournament in top 8.
Yeah. So Hungry Box was another player that I studied a lot. Almost all the top 15 and some of the top 20 and 25. I've looked at a lot, and of course the top 6 too. And so I knew, and I've talked to like Cobal a lot, who's beaten him a few times in the past of certain things that he likes to do. And so again, I felt really confident going into the match, and also I want to shout out to Bobby Siege, because he's kind of been like my coach. He's just been like mentally there for me. Like he doesn't let when I won against Leffen, he didn't let that go to my head. He's like, all right, nice, good work, let's move on to the next match. Like we celebrated for a little bit, and then we just started preparing for the next match. And so the same thing with Hungry Box. I was up 2-0, and I was feeling really good, but then the third game, that thought went into my head. It creeped into my head that, oh my god, I'm going to beat Hungry Box. I'm about to 3-0 Hungry Box. And that, like, just kind of spiraled me down. And I couldn't quite recover from that, like, mentality.
But you were up 3 stocks to 1.
On the last game, yes, I know. Yeah, I know. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's understandable. Like, I really felt like, I think there was like a moment in Game 3 where I really felt that, that you weren't being present anymore. And the reason why I say that was, I felt in Game 1 and 2 you're fairly adaptive, but in Game 3 you're autopiloting. Was that the case, or am I just assuming like you weren't paying attention to what his intentions were, and I felt like you weren't fully there?
Maybe. I mean, honestly, I have to rewatch the set because I haven't actually looked at my losses from press start yet because it's still, you probably know how it's like. It's just reliving that loss is like painful.
Yeah.
But you're probably right, because like, that thought probably creeped into my head, and I stopped being present, and I started thinking like, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna play Mango next, or Lucky.
Yeah.
And so I stopped trying to like read his air mobility, and
like there's a key adjustment that I felt like could have sealed like one of those many of those matches. It's like when he started like, because he was reading your full hops, and then he was like side being or like back airing at that height, and I was like, why isn't he just going underneath and fishing for up airs? And
yeah.
it's like, I felt like if you're in the moment, like you would have gone that easily.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Gotta look at it again for sure.
But you did well. I mean, I would never be able to be a Hungry Box.
Hey, never say never. You can do it. Just,
Yeah. I might have a random moment where like food delivery comes in, but but that's like a lot of great stuff, and I feel like when we talk about top foxes, I feel like there's been like unnecessary backlash because you got top 10 at SSBM rank 2013, and everybody was like, "Oh, SFAT's overrated," to the point where like I feel like you're underrated at this point. Like, what do you feel when like people are like, "Oh, what about Otto? What about Lucky?" and like we never talk about you?
Dude, that's totally fine with me. I like being the underdog. Like I'm more than okay with people sleeping on me because that just means that they're not gonna look at my videos. They're not gonna like look at, you know, what I do, and so I'm just gonna sneak up into first place, and no one's gonna be expecting it. Although I think the top six now have definitely they're the ones that definitely have an eye on me. Even if the rest of the community doesn't have an eye on me, the top six for sure. I know they're looking my way, so I gotta be careful.
And Axe, of course, right?
Right? Yeah, yeah. I love my little rivalry with Jeff or with Axe because I mean I don't know. I like playing Pikachu a lot, and I also really like it when he beats all the other foxes and loses to me. So, but we're actually pretty close. I think we're like 4-3, I think, or 3-3 in all time. So it's really not that big, and it's always really tough to play him too.
I recall one set at Pat's house too, where
That was my favorite set I played against him. He gave up on the last game. I was up three stocks and one on FD, and I was just dash dancing in the middle of the stage, and he was on the ledge, and then he just like turns over to me and like pounds me, and he's like, "All right, good games, dude," and he just kills himself.
dude,
I was like, oh.
dude, and I also loved your Kings of Cali set against SFAT or against Axe. Like the way you just like jabbed every time he ran and grabbed you or tried to, because like that gets every other fox. You're like, nope, jab, 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 jab. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was another good one too. Yeah. At Pat's house, I actually almost lost to Fiction in losers. He Pat's house was a great tournament, or Pat's house too, because everything was best out of 5. So I played Fiction, and he was up 2-0 against me, and then I made a 3-stock comeback or 3-game comeback. And then I played Axe right after that, and then 3-0'd him. So I just felt like on fire that tournament.
That's pretty crazy. So, you have the Twitch stream put up?
Yeah, I do.
All
yeah.
right. I'm gonna go check downstairs because there may or may not be free for me. Stream
Okay.
asking some questions for the last 15.
Okay. What's up, guys? Sorry, I've been looking at your messages, but I haven't been replying because, talking. What's up with you guys? Bum, 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 bum. Well, so many emotes. Are those all Mango's emotes? Thanks, Washboard Abs. You rock, man. Zach, did you see Mango's diss? I didn't see Mango's diss. What was Mango's diss? Favorite anime? Dude. That's too hard of a question, Dingus. There's too many good animes. But recently I've been watching Kuroko no Basket, which I've been, liking for the most part. It's a little slow, but it's cool. Yamanese, what's up, man? SFAT, when you play Hungrybox again, don't stand up. You know what, Mike Tasty? Maybe I'll just stand up to spite you. Why did I stand up? Alright, I've answered this question a couple times, but I'll answer it again. It was really just a heat of the moment type of thing, It was like, I don't know what kind of overtook me, but something in my body was like, you need to stand up. And I think part of it was because like him standing up just felt like this over-looming, energy like on top of me, and I couldn't like break free of that mentally without standing up. But unfortunately, it didn't help. but if I had won, oh my god, that would have been so hype. Like, come on. You're not. How can you not be hype if I had won that? It would have been a trend. People would have stood up all the time. Eat pork chops daily. What's up, man? Am I scared of Mango? I'm not scared of Mango. Not at all. How was your Apex 2015 set against Axe? It was good. I liked it. I don't know. I thought it was a lot better than the one at Paragon, so I felt good about that. Better because I prepared more for it. Give you tips on Marth vs Fox, man. Why don't you come into my stream? Because I always give tips for Marth vs Fox in that stream. Um, ice cream, cream, ice cream, ice cream. What's up? How's streaming? Streaming's cool. You know, it's hard because it's just a consistency thing. Though now I'm done with school, so I'm gonna try to stream a lot more. I'm trying to stream almost every day. Tell us why your name is. Oh, what up? What's up, Mike? Dude, I can't tell if you're being serious or not because I've said that story like a million times. How does it feel to make HBox stand for the first time in a long time? It felt actually really good to make him stand up after the 2-0. I was like, hell yeah. Like, you better take me seriously. Funky Monk? Dude, yeah. Dude, sweet. I'm looking forward to playing you in Brazil too. I've heard people say that you are similar to Norwalk players. Do you agree? I don't know. I guess so. I've taken a lot of their little tricks and styles and applied it to my own game. So in a way, I suppose. Was I fat once? Not really. Some people think I was, including my brother, but I don't think I was ever that fat. How tall are you? How tall are you? HBox looked tall when you stood up. What? I don't understand. Mike. Oh, Lance. I have Axe in my pool this weekend. Any words of wisdom? Okay. The quick breakdown of the Pikachu matchup. It's kind of like fighting Sheik, where you need to grab the ledge to edgeguard him, but it's finding that right time to grab the ledge. It's a little bit tougher than Sheik because Sheik's thing is so slow, but you want to grab the ledge when right before Pikachu does his second, like boom boom, his second quick attack, you grab the ledge right, so he does his first one, and then you grab the ledge, and then he does the second one, and he's forced to go up onto the stage, and then you can punish him a lot easier. Also, up tilts are good, although be careful of up tilts because he'll look for them. Like you don't want to spam up tilts. Back air is really good. Yeah. Good luck, Lance. I hope you crush. You should watch some videos of West Balls and Axe, because I know he's really good at that.
Dude, those sets. So like, I feel like Axe has a rivalry between like you and West Balls. Maybe more so West lately.
Because they played a little more recently. They've played a lot more. Yeah.
What are some other questions? SFAT. I mean, that's a common question. Why are you called SFAT?
All right. Man, I swear I've told this story like a million times, but SFAT. I used to play Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff was so fat. We would joke around that Jigglypuff was so fat. Then we would put on the SFAT tag, and I entered my first tournament as SFAT just as a joke, and it just kind of stuck, and I kind of just kept it. So, and then I stopped playing Jigglypuff and started playing other characters. Yeah, that's the story. It's not a very good story at all, which is why I don't like telling it.
What about teams?
What about teams?
So that's going to segue to our next topic with Nick in the next hour. Why are you so damn good at teams?
We just played a lot of teams, man. Whenever we had a setup, there were always 4 people, and with 4 people, like, no one wanted to wait, in a rotation, so we would just play teams, and so by playing a lot of teams, you just kind of pick up on little team strategies, like how to kill the other person quicker and more efficiently than the last time. So,
was it you and Jeff that did the 2-on-1 victim thing, where like you just combo one person really hard repeatedly? Or is that Jeff and Mitchell?
So that was Jeff and Mitchell on me. Like there's actually a video on YouTube of Jeff and Mitchell just 2v1ing me for like, I don't know, it's just like an hour or something. It was after an SFSU tournament, and we were waiting for my dad to pick me up. So we had like a setup, and they just they just pounded me, and I thought that was a lot of fun because they could try out some stuff, and then I got to practice like 2v1ing. So I honestly think 2v1ing is like so much fun if you're not playing against like insanely great players, because then it's not fun at all. Uh, but yeah, and then Kevin and I, we've just been teaming for so long that it's easy to mesh together now. Though we do need to practice. We can't just like jump into a tournament cold without any practice, because then we're just gonna mess up little things that are gonna cost us the higher we get. um,
What's your top 8 music gonna be for CEO?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I've been thinking about that. I haven't registered yet because this is a question that's been on my mind, and I don't know. What do you think, Danny? What should my song be? Or stream?
Um, what's a song that you should just play the song for that's in Prescribed to Get Off.
I don't even know what song that is. Prescribed to Get Off.
It's Getting School 2 montage. He stole the same music.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see. Maybe. That's I'll put it down on the list.
Is there anyone that you're looking forward to playing?
The summer.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing pretty much all of Brazil. I'm really excited to go down there and like, help grow the scene however I can grow it, and just play with those guys. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Although not being able to understand them is not gonna be fun, but there's like one American that's going, so I'll have someone to speak English with, and then besides the Brazil guys, I'm looking forward to play Armada again because he's always a lot of fun to play. I'm looking forward to play PP. I hope I get to play PP because we've only played maybe like twice in tournament, and he's always crushed me. So I'm looking forward to getting some revenge. And HBox again. I'm not gonna be satisfied until I finally beat that guy. So, and then everyone else, is kind of like whatever. Everyone in my path is gonna get mowed down. So,
Damn.
oh, PB's in the chat. Oh, what's up, PB? You're going down, man. See, what I've actually I respect PP so much as a player, and I've read so many. I read his little blogs and Smashboard inserts so many times, and a lot of the ideas that I have about the game come from him. So if you guys like want to know more about mindset and stuff, go read his Smashboard blogs, because those are just like filled with a plethora of information.
What do you think? So, you've had like instances where like nerves kind of come to you, and like you've been so close so many times. Like, what do you think pushes you over the edge?
Over the edge in a bad way, you mean?
No, in a good way. Like, what will get you past like the next hump?
Mm. Um. I think it's just keep doing what I'm doing, but do it a little better. Just meditate, practice, study, and then when it comes down to the day of the tournament, I just need to be 100% in the present. A lot of the times I get tripped up because in the middle of a set I'll start thinking about the next match, of who I'm gonna play when really it doesn't matter because I'm not gonna play them if I don't beat this guy. So the one thing that I think I need to work on is just like being in the moment on the day of the tournament. Because leading up to the tournament, I'm totally fine. I'm totally pumped. But on the day of the tournament, I tend to like slowly crack or cripple away if I'm not, if I'm not on myself. So I think that's what I need to get that top 8 at Evo.
And do you think that's like highly undervalued? Because I never make it far into bracket anyway. But fatigue is very. How big do you think like fatigue is?
Oh, I think it's super real. Like you mean just like getting tired of playing and whatnot,
Yeah,
fatiguing as a player.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I think that's totally a fair that's totally a real consequence because okay, like at Paragon, I arrived on like Thursday and I played from Thursday all the way till Saturday, almost nonstop. And on Sunday, my arms were just like killing me. Like I could not. They were just like super stiff and it felt awful. So after that tournament, I started really reeling back my playtime and kind of playing, um, picking the times that I wanted to play and not squandering those times. Playing as efficiently as I and practicing as efficiently as I can because players, we are just humans and we are gonna get tired. We're gonna get old, and you know there's definitely those human limitations to how much someone can play.
Shouts to Sam Green. Thank you. I think that's Dingus Master for donating $5.
Woo, dingus.
Thank you. You're the hero. Um, have you? I mean, I've never been one to think that you had wrist hand related injuries. Have they been severe for you? Because I feel like yours have been relatively tame, considering like how hard you go at it with movement.
Yeah, I just kind of haven't like been too open about it. I just kind of kept it on the down low because it's really not that big of a deal if I take care of myself, um, which I've been doing. So it hasn't been that big of a deal. But when I play for long periods of time without break or multiple days in a row with super high intensity, that's when my arms start to hurt. And it's mostly like my tendons, like up here, by my kind of by my elbow, but a little bit lower on both my arms. So, and I'm not exactly sure why it happens, but I kind of, when I play, I'll take a lot of breaks. I won't play multiple days in a row, or if I do play multiple days in a row, I'm not playing like all the time, all day. So definitely got to take care of your hands. It's mostly my arms actually, but
That might be an issue of posture then.
yeah, yeah. A lot of players have told me that it might be because I'm like gripping the controller a little bit too hard, and so like it tenses up my forearms, which is totally reasonable because I get super into the game, like emotionally, and I don't even like think about how hard I'm gripping the controller.
What did it feel like to stand up?
Versus Hungry Box. Um, well, I kind of already answered this when you were gone, but it was kind of like a relief because it felt like he had this overbearing aura over him or over me, and so by standing up, it kind of like allowed me to break free of that feeling. Even though like now I kind of have a better idea of how to like mentally deal with that than standing up, because obviously standing up didn't help very much. But yeah, yeah. Next time he's going down. Who knows? Maybe I'm practicing standing up. So come at me.
Have you ever heard my stand up?
I no, I don't think so.
It's on YouTube. It's kind of cringe.
Oh, your NASA stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally did. I've totally seen that.
Dude, people in the Smash community are slowly discovering it. I'm just like, oh no. Like, it goes up on YouTube. I like Tathwikins' video, and then it shows up the YouTube link. Because like you can like it and it'll tweet it. I'm just like, oh gosh.
Do people at your work like know how much you're involved in the community and like do they watch your Smash videos at all?
They don't, but I get friends of friends that are younger saying like, oh yeah, like I have a friend that knows who you are.
Oh, knows who I am? Okay. Huh. That's cool.
And in college, or when we have college interns, like they kidnap me and make me play melee with them. Yeah, so I'll do that. But do you have any closing thoughts? It's like 5 o'clock.
Um, not other than I'm gonna do my best this summer, and good luck to everyone else that's gonna be competing. But yeah, I mean that's about it.
Alright.
15 minutes of tech skill a day. Practice it.
Keeps the side B's away.
Yeah. 15 minutes of tech skill a day keeps the side B's away.
Yeah.
Bible thump. Bible
Deal.
thump.
Alrighty,
Okay.
cool. Well,
Alright.
thanks for coming on, Zach.
Yeah, thanks Danny. Thanks for having me. Thanks for everything you do, man. You're the Melee Army hero, so
Yay.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good Friday.
All right, see you guys.
Alright.